What's good, world? The people, the universe. It's Voice here, back again with a weekly fasting update. That's right, fasting on a weekly basis. Yes, you can do it. We can all do it. There's great people that has done it before, and there's many more to come. But this week was a normal week for me. I had my birthday this week. Still did my fasting. Didn't go overboard. Kind of went overboard a little bit. But that's not you know what I mean, that's not really important because that was my cheat day, you know what I mean. So that was my birthday. Really didn't do too much, just had dinner, just hung out with my kids and wife, and just had a good time. And doing it on a regular basis, you get to a point where you like living in that state, and I do. I like living in a state of over 16 hours of fasting, over 20 hours of fasting, over 30 hours of fasting. And I do that on a weekly basis now. And it got to the point to where my body knows how to regulate in between. It knows when I'm refeeding, it knows when I'm not eating, and it knows how to work with me because I like to do the bigger fasts on my days at work. So this week, um, Sunday and Monday I was really busy. I was stripping the floors in my house, and the way my usually schedule goes in the mornings, I'm kind of busy with my kids, and instead of being busy with them, I had them occupied with their schoolwork, and so I was busy just doing the floors. I was pulling up carpet, sanding the floors, and putting about 3 layers of coating on there, and so that pretty much took me majority of both half days. You know what I mean? Because you can't rush putting all that coating on there. So in the morning of Sunday, in the morning of Monday, I did that. I had to move all the furniture around, and I didn't eat until later in the day. In both of those fasts, I did 17 on Sunday and Monday. I did a 17, and then I did a 15 on Tuesday, and that was my birthday. But only reason that was a 15 because on Monday night we went out for dinner for my birthday, and that was later into the night. And that's okay to be inflexible because I really don't do a lot of 14 and 12s and all that because it's very minimum benefit, and I want to get the most benefit throughout my day and throughout my week with fasting, getting into a state of autophagy and ketosis, and maxing out my ketosis and burning through the fuel in my body and letting my body understand how to use this stuff because I'm 31 years old. Like, I'm in the prime of my life, and you should be able to flex a little, not a little, flex to how you want to with your health. I'm not saying in a negative way. I'm not saying in too far positive way too, because I don't think cleaning your whole vessel would be a smart thing. But back to being diverse with your fasts. And so the next day was a 15 that was on my birthday, and so I worked that night. And so only reason that was a 15 because I ate late, and then in the morning I ate early. And I had in our household when we have birthdays, we always eat seaweed soup, which is a tradition from Korean families. Which my mother-in-law, she's Korean, and I really like that tradition. And I'm not saying I would have stopped it; it would have kept it going, but it's a nice tradition. I had like 3 big bowls of seaweed soup, and that's all I had that morning for my birthday, and to get that full nutrient balance inside of it. And then after that, that was a 15. And then I went Wednesday at 10:30 to Friday at 10:30 in the morning. I did a 48 fast 2 days, and that was my most busiest time because I was doing work. Uh, I was doing work on the house. I was at my job doing work, and I had to go to a doctor's appointment with my wife. So in between doing all that, I didn't eat for 2 days. You know what I mean? So getting all that done and still having the energy, not really complaining about sleep, not at all. I'm not complaining about energy. I had my peak energy. I had my low points that I know understand. And when you walking into a fast, you gotta understand, like, before going into a fast, you need to have a good eating window, and coming out of a fast, you need to have a good window. That's why when I did my 48, after I did my 48, I broke my fast at 10 o'clock with tea. I had tea for like a whole hour. I drank 3 cups of it, and I was chilling. I was still doing some work, some personal work. I like to um I like to do my research, and I was doing some research, and I was just having tea, then had some fruit. Then I went Christmas shopping. You know what I mean? And I only had a handful of fruit. I had an orange, one whole orange, and some grapes, and some tomatoes. You know what I mean? That's all I had. And then I went Christmas shopping. And so when you want to come out of a big fast like that, you don't want to rush having a big, heavy, dense meal. That's gonna really ground you. That's really gonna, or not ground you. It's gonna stop you in your tracks. You're really gonna get tired. You're really gonna be not really want to do anything because a lot of blood is being forced to your stomach. And so when a lot of blood is being forced to your stomach at this point, you're gonna your stomach is very sensitive. Like if I would have ate a dense food instead of eating all that fruit, I wouldn't be able to go shopping. I would have took a nap because on that Friday I got off. I worked graveyards. I got off and I was busy all morning. Then in the afternoon I was pretty much busy. So it got to the point where it was like, yo, I don't need something that will slow me down if I got stuff to do. So I need something that will keep the system going, to keep the system flowing instead of slowing me down. Because the time you put something dense, heavy, like a lot of starch, like a lot of uh, overcooked proteins, and a lot of this compound mix processed foods that your body takes a longer time, literally scientific, take a longer time to break down. And a lot of people don't understand that and they can't feel that because they always eating a lot of dense food. And this is why I preach 80-20. 80% of my diet is raw fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Plain and simple. My nuts are soaked in water. My fruits and vegetables are all raw, no cooked. And I try to eat them as ripe as they can. Some stuff I like early. I like when it's a little bit sour. Some stuff I like eating when it's overripe. It's a little bit more sweet. And you can look up the facts on some of fruits and it's so diverse and it's so crazy how fruit can be diverse for you as a you can eat it at any stage, unripe, ripe, perfect, or overripe. It can be any stage and still have the same nutrients. It might have more in different stages than the other stages. And so that's what you got to understand the information that you get. And when before I go into a big fast, I make sure I focus on vitamin C, vitamin A, and vitamin E, and vitamin D. Make sure I focus on those. And then when I'm coming out of a fast, I make sure I focus on my minerals. So copper, magnesium, iron, um, potassium, like it's a whole list of stuff that you want to make sure you want to get. I really do not do supplements. Sometimes I do supplements, but I only do it for like a week or two just to see can I get the full benefits out of this if it's really working. And I don't really go into a pill form. I do extracts and tinctures and concentrated like gels where it's pretty much the same solution over again, just a little bit more concentrated, not in a pill form, which is highly concentrated. Two different things. Your body recognizes one as a high level of food, another one as a foreign object when it's too concentrated. So you want to be familiar with your body and familiar with what you put in your body as in regards to refeeding after a fast because that's very important. Don't rush it. Don't get something too dense. I'm telling you, you'll feel light and you want to keep going with the light feeling. It will help your body a whole lot. Help your mind because you'll have blood flowing from your gut all the way up to your brain, all the way up to your heart. That's why a lot of people when they get full, they shut down. They don't even realize they mentally shut down a little bit. Then when you get too full, you fall asleep, you get the itis. People trying to stay up, trying to force their ways through. So I didn't see people at my job all the time. I work graveyards and people think it's okay. I thought I was that person. It was okay to eat all night. We're working 12-hour graveyards and you eating at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You know what I mean? Eating all night. Then when you get home, you what's the chance you probably eating something because you're relaxing now? Highly, highly. And I ask all the guys, they, oh yeah, I'll eat when I get up. Some of them are even going to go drink. And yeah, I was one of those guys working graveyards, getting off at 6 in the morning and using the excuse because keeping up with society, watching, you know what I mean, other people do it as I grow up and hearing about people saying, oh man, let's go to the bar after work, doing this and that. Me working graveyards, I can't go to the bar, it ain't open. So go home and have a cold one. Some of the guys at my job, they chill with each other because they're single. I did not, I couldn't do that. And that's why understanding the trends and the patterns that you're in, you can't fit into everything. Not everything is good for you. And so that's why you got to find your own rhythm and pattern in life. And that's why doing these weekly videos to help people understand, like, yo, on a Monday through Friday, since you can fast with the family. Like I have kids that they're here doing homeschool, and then I have a wife. Me and her work both full time. You know what I mean? It's always going. It's nothing never stopping, and we always got to just keep up with ourselves and understanding like what we put in our body, understanding the timing with food, and understanding what type of food you need to focus on eating. Because I focus on nutrient density with minerals and vitamins, and pretty much that's it for the week because it's Saturday night now, and I fast all the way. Like after the 48, I did a 12-hour fast, so on that Friday, I broke my fast at 10:30, and then I told you I had tea, and then like a little plate, a handful. It was a bowl full of fruit. It was orange sliced up and some grapes and one apple and some tomatoes, and so it wasn't too much. That's a small meal compared to when I break my fast with fruit. That's a small meal, but I did have stuff to do, so I wasn't really in a rush. I don't really like stress eating in a rush. Go, 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 hurry up, hurry up. I really like taking my time and chewing on my food and make sure it's all digest before I get up and be really active. Like really moving and going outside the house and really picking up and lift stuff and going and do things. So it gets to that point where I gotta understand perfect timing with the perfect food. Because when I got back, yeah, I had more denser food because I wanted to get the higher levels of minerals and iron, and I focus on beans and legumes and my nuts and seeds and salads, mixing my greens, arugula, spinach, um, cabbage. You want to get all that stuff in. You want to mix it all up. You want to be diverse with your diet. And your health will be diverse. You know what I mean? You can go and try different foods and you'll be bulletproof. You know what I mean? Because I feel like with this trend that's going on with food, people jumping in and out of diets. I'm like, yo, you did it for 9 months, you'll get the real benefits. And people don't even understand that. They think being a weekend warrior or I'm gonna do it for a month and it'll be okay. And what you going back to, a normal diet? You need to have a real good game plan and pattern. I really don't game plan too much. I just do about week by week. But it really has benefits when you're flexible with fasting, with open up from 12 hours and then you can do all the way to 48 hours in a week. That makes me that makes me flexible to what the world I'm living in, and it makes me pick the right window so I can enjoy myself with my food. But just wanted to give another weekly update, wanted to share what I've been doing and how I do things and how I keep my health at a higher peak with fasting on a weekly basis because it is manageable and it's doable. I see a lot of people doing it, but I don't see a lot of people preaching about it. So it's all love, baby. Peace. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.